What are you cooking for dinner today? Let me show you what I'm cooking. Okay, this is JB. This is JB going wild at the outdoor fire pit, outdoor kitchen I call it. Roasting a chicken. Got a pretty large chicken here. It's already been store-bought, so it's already been washed and things like that. First thing I'm going to do, doing a little prep work before we cook it on the spit over the fire. First thing I'm going to do is put on some olive oil, mix a nice coating, and then I put on some Mrs. Dash. Love Mrs. Dash. But first, I need to secure it to the spit. Okay, we do that. Let me get the spit here. It's a little warm. Wipe it off. We'll run it from where the neck used to be. First, I'm going to put on the claws here. And you can make a skewer or a spit out of natural materials, but avoid pine and bamboo. Bamboo, if you've ever smelled it burning, it's not a good smell. I'm afraid that'll get inside my food. This is a stainless steel spit and skewers. Works very well if you're ever in the market for it. I do not have a battery operated turner though. I do it by hand. That way I spend some good time out by the fire. Loosen this up so it fits on. Then I'm going to take it right back off, put it back in my box. Okay, and I want it about halfway. So I'm going to put the chicken on. I like to use the bowl here. Slide it on. It comes where the neck is. Put on the opposite side here. And I'll get it about center. Doesn't have to be exact. And stick it in. And I like to make sure both the screws, it's kind of got thumb screws, are upright. And I'll come from here and stick it in. Then I'll squeeze them tight. Lock one. Squeeze it tight together. Lock the other. Next comes a string. I use cotton string. You'll avoid anything with nylon. And this is good to holds the wings and the legs on. You don't have to use string, but I find it keeps them from falling off. I'll put the oil on after. And I'll just use a square knot. I'll get it about the right length. Cut it here. And I'll just go over the wings, and I'll use one for the legs also. Find a nice square knot. Left over right, right over left. You can go to the knot library, find out more about a square knot. And cut off the strands there, put them in the box. Once again, cotton string, no nylon. Nylon will melt over the heat. It's kind of at an angle. This one's over the legs. it around there. There we go. Probably some moms out there laughing at me right now. It's all right. Tie it on. Cut the ends off. Cut the wrong end. One. And now I'll apply my oil. Doesn't take a lot. Gives it a nice crisp coating on the outside, which I like. I'll use olive oil. You can use any kind of oil. There we go. Put a little on my hand. Take off the ring. Put it in the box so I don't lose it. Put it on my hand. Kind of rub it on there. This chicken came with a store-bought, so it came with a little temperature guide. I usually take that off. I'll use a meat thermometer so it's more accurate. Another good thing that this does is it holds the seasoning on, which I like Mrs. Dash. A little dash on it. Mrs. Dash, low sodium. Got a lot of good stuff in there. And sometimes you can stick an apple inside. Push that in. Kind of pat it. Flip it over. The same thing on the bottom side. And you don't want a huge fire for cooking on the spit. You don't want it to burn. You don't want it to cook too quick. You want a nice steady fire. And the firewood, I use oak or hickory. Don't want to use pine because it will coat the meat. The string come off. Let me put it back on there real quick. There we go. And now, follow me over here. I'm going to put it right on the spit. Stick it in. 1, 2. Make sure they're tightened down. You see here, I got it kind of centered over the fire pit, above the fire, so it's catching the heat. And sometimes if this were an actual survival situation, I would take and put a pan on top of there just to catch all the fat that drips off. Let me tie this a little better. And in the old days, they had to have a fire going all day anyway. This will take this size chicken 4, 5 hours. And you can see here, kind of rotate. and turn it above the heat. Let's see. There we go. Now you can see. Smoke's in my eyes. And I can turn it. And I'll turn it. I usually play music out here. And every song, I'll turn it just about halfway around. And you can lower this closer to the heat. But I'm going to build the fire up just a little bit, sit by. And so I'll keep that going. Okay, so that's the prep work. Now we'll rotate every 3 or 4 minutes and turn it slightly, and I'll add to it. I'll catch back with you later. Hey, this is JB roasting a chicken over the fire pit on the spit. Turn it a quarter turn here, have a seat. Okay, I took a baking hen, which will take a little longer. You can use a smaller bird or roast or anything like that, and coated it with some olive oil. Use Mrs. Dash, there's some seasoning there. Got it over a slow burning fire. You don't want a roaring fire, it'll burn it. And slow cook it for about 4 or 5 hours. Got some music playing. I turn it about a quarter turn after every song. And just kind of nice way to spend New Year's Eve. Just kick back, relax. It's tea, by the way, iced tea. And figure I'll share cooking over the spit. This is what I call the outdoor kitchen, my fire pit area. Do a lot of cooking out here. Turn it a little bit there. And you can get the battery powered, but I think takes the fun out of it. I like to turn it up by hand every once in a while. And you can turn constantly, but that kind of gets old. And like I said, nice slow burning fire. You want oak, hickory. Do not use pine. Get you out of the smoke here. Do not use pine or any kind of bamboo. Bamboo, if you've ever smelled it burning, you definitely do not want to use the bamboo. It might taint the meat somehow, kind of like pine does. Give it a little bit of turn. You can see here. And I'll keep you updated. Figure I'll show you a close-up of the chicken cooking here. Got it tied on with cotton string. Just keep the wings and the legs from flipping out and falling off, but at least you know they're done when they come off easily. And slow burning fire. Do not use nylon string. You have to make sure there's no nylon in the string. Give it a quarter turn every other song, after every song. Nice and slow burning. Get out of the smoke here. Now I'll keep you updated. So update. It's been about an hour and a half, getting close to 2 hours now. Kind of just keeping the fire low. Nice oak firewood. Throwing on some mesquite chips every once in a while for flavor. And just keep it rotated. Dogs are going crazy for it already. Hey, just checking in. It's been a couple of hours. 2.5 maybe. Chicken's looking pretty good. I'll show you some more close-ups coming up soon. And it's important to practice the wilderness skills. Wilderness is a lifestyle. It's not an activity. practicing basic skills is a lifetime goal. It's a lifetime endeavor, I guess is a better word. And so those of you who prepare for the worst case scenarios, practice cooking a chicken on a fire pit every once in a while. It's good to stay in practice with basic skills our ancestors used to do every day. And a lot of the wilderness skills, bushcraft skills, whatever you want to call it, they were everyday activities for our ancestors. And so it's important to practice, keep in contact, take more trips outside, get into our national forests, and take care of our national forests. It's important to practice leave no trace camping and leave no trace policies. It's important to learn those, the 7 codes or the 7 principles, I guess it's called. And take care of our wildlands so our grandkids can enjoy them as well. All right, check back in with you later. Heat's built up a little bit, fire gets up a little higher. It's a good idea to keep it turning a little more. Rotate. It's been about 3 hours, getting close to 3 hours anyway. Almost done. Another hour or so, be good to go. Gonna throw in some sweet potatoes here soon. Making some sourdough bread to go with it. Pretty good. Good New Year's meal. You can see the chicken's looking pretty good. It's been almost 4 hours. I think it's about time to check the temperature. Give it a few more turns over the fire here. Once again, keep the fire nice and low. If it gets up, just kind of rotate a little faster. Raise the chicken up, or raise the food up away from the heat as much. It's putting off good heat, so that oak wood really puts off some good heat. Let me see here. Get a little close up here of the chicken there. See how that's looking. Pretty good. And when it starts bursting out of the skin, you know it's getting close to being done. Give my little camera here a signal. Makes it react, respond, travel. It's a Christmas present from my brother. Very cool. First time using it here today. You notice it follows me around. Get a chance to get one. It's very cool. There. All the way around. Pretty nice. Down, up. Definitely going to be a nice tool for making videos. Anyway, chicken's almost done. Wanted to catch you up on it. Making some homemade sourdough bread and some baked sweet potatoes to go with it. Make a nice New Year's dinner. Getting ready to take the chicken off the spit here. Put it over there. Take my pliers. Loosen these. Be careful, it's very hot at this point. Let me back up so it shows up a little more. And I'm just going to loosen these. And now I'm just going to slide it and rotate it over. See how done it is. And I'm just going to lay it there and slide it right off the spit there. Put this back on so I can clean it. Pull these out. Just wanted to give a example of the finished product here. Sweet potatoes in there. You can see the wing there. The other half of the breast. Very good. Very tasty. Very good. Tastes good. This is JB reminding you to get outside and go wild.